Hey everybody, this is going to be a full-length video today. This is probably going to go about 10 minutes. So we're going to give you a walkthrough of the fruit trees that we've planted so far. So I'm going to go ahead and switch up the camera and put it on everything we're talking about today. Okay, so I'm going to explain something to you real quick. All these coverings or bags right here. We're here in Indiana, and about this time of year, we have a really bad problem with Japanese beetles. So we're getting ready to go and cover our fruit trees with these. Now, some of my fruit trees have really grown. I mean, they're still in the baby stage, but they've really grown quite a bit. So I'm probably going to have to order a couple, three coverings that are much larger than what we have here. But these sizes that we have right here should probably take care of about maybe 80% of our fruit trees. So I'm going to go ahead and walk out here now. Again, this is not a short. This is going to be a little bit longer of a video. We don't do these too often, but if you guys enjoy this format and you want to hear us talking about this stuff in more detail, we can certainly do more of these. So we've been working on getting the property planted up and everything. We put some raised beds out here. These are all strawberries. They're in their beginning stages. And then out here, we haven't showed you guys all this stuff we've been doing. Out here is basically a blueberry patch, and they're in their infancy stage. We're actually pulling the fruit off of them this year, so their roots and everything can get better established. But I think we got about 60 of these out here. But today's topic is fruit trees, so I'm basically going to go out here in the front and then walk all the way up the hill there, so we can I can show you what we've done out here. And I'm also doing this video just so you guys can see that, hey, you know what? Everybody thinks fruit trees are such a big task, and they're really not. So these are some newer ones that we planted. They've already grown pretty well. This is a peach tree. And I have another one close by to it here. I just put these in this past spring, and they're already looking pretty good. Now, this row here, I have these covered up with shade cloth. I'll try to let you see these though through here. This is a pawpaw tree, so this is basically like a bare root stage. But these can easily scald, I read, in the summer. So I have these covered in shade cloth. A couple more here. They're doing okay. You know, they're young. Try to get over that one. You can kind of see down in there. But it's going to produce pawpaw fruit one of these days. It's kind of a fruit that kind of has like a vanilla custard type of flavor to it. Here's another one. So I got them covered up and stuff. Just try to protect them. It's going to start getting really hot here in Indiana pretty soon. And then here we have a persimmon. Again, as you can tell, these are little babies. Just put them in this spring. Another persimmon. And then these two here are nectarine trees. And I've spaced these all probably about 25 feet. See, there's a Japanese beetle right there. See, I'm going to be covering all these up. Don't kill them, because you're going to release a chemical that will quickly bring its family members to it. So if you're going to, what we do is we normally knock them off into a bucket of soapy water. And then once I get the tree coverings that I showed you in the garage, once I get those on here, then we won't have to worry about knocking those off every morning. I've tried spraying neem oil on them and different things like that, and those Japanese beetles do not care about that stuff. They come and feast anyway. So later we'll do a video on the blueberry patch here and how those are coming. They're young, but they're coming along pretty good. I think we're at about 5 minutes here. I think we'll have this wrapped up in about 10 minutes. So I don't like creating, you know, 20-30 minute long videos. This is a this is not a fruit bearing tree. This is a honeysuckle tree. Just kind of something interesting. This will end up getting thorns on it, but I just think they're a beautiful tree. This thing's really grown in 2 years. It was basically where the top of that stake is in there, and now look at it. So it's coming along pretty good. I'm kind of a believer in putting trees in the ground before they get too tall and too developed. Half the time you have to chop them down anyway to maybe 2 or 3 feet, so they start forming lateral branching a little bit better. As you can see, that's what I've been doing here on these, is I've been trying to kind of create more of a vase with an open center. That way when these get bigger, they'll fruit better, they'll have less fungus issues, better pest control, more aired out. So that's why you're going to see these on some of the trees. I've basically trying to take the branches out at like maybe a 45-60 degree angle. So you're going to see this on some of them. But this is an almond tree. This is one of the few species that I've read that will actually grow in Indiana. I believe we're zone 5B, and I heard we were upgraded to zone 6A. So either 5B or 6A, but yeah, beautiful tree. I think maybe next year or the year after we'll start getting blossoms on these and then have probably a small almond yield, but it's coming along. Here's another almond. Kind of the same thing. They've had a little bit of bug activity on them. Oh, see, there you go. I'm glad you guys are seeing this. There's more Japanese beetles right here. So they're kind of coming out a little early this year. Normally they come out around the 4th, and today's June 24th. So I'm not going to wait on them to get even more in volume. I'm going to start covering up the trees. So again, that's the best method I've found for Japanese beetles. These are going to be goji berries. So this is their 2nd year in the ground. They're starting to come up pretty nice. You can put goji berries in really anything, oatmeal, just to eat them. People usually dry them out. They're kind of chewy, they're really flavorful. And then here's another almond tree. So we try to kind of group the species of trees near each other. And again, most of these trees, when I planted them a couple years ago, they were about at the height of the top of the stake. So they've really taken off, which is great. Now we're going to get into the cherry trees. This is a black cherry. Again, you can see that stick that's kind of fallen over now, but that's about the height of it when I planted it. Black cherry. And I read online that these don't have to have quite as much of a vase shape, a little bit, but they need like a liter. So I pruned this back to where we have like this 1 liter. So here we go. And I don't claim to be a certified arborist. I actually have somebody coming out next spring that I met that's going to come out here and charge me a small fee and kind of give me some tips on pruning and things like that. So I do not claim to be an arborist. I just do a lot of reading. There you go, more freaking Japanese beetles again. Yep, I'm going to be covering these up today, but I wanted to show you guys all these before they get covered. We're still in the cherry tree section. I'm really proud of this one. This is a sweetheart cherry tree, and you probably can't see it anymore, which is good. But when I first planted this thing, it got snapped by heavy winds like right here. And this probably isn't the proper way to do it, but I basically put black electrical tape around it. And that thing just like hemmed up really quick. So yeah, this is a sweetheart cherry. This one, I have some limb extenders on it to try to kind of get us that angle. They don't have to be as vased, open vased as like maybe a peach tree, but you know, just kind of give them some. I just don't want my branches growing up, you know, vertical. So, and then here's another more developed sweetheart cherry tree again. This branch was really going vertical on me, so I went ahead and braced it. But this one's really taken off this year. So I'm looking forward to having the arborist though come by in the spring. I sent him some pictures and he said these look pretty good though. So so now we're in the apple tree section. This is a I think the tag's still on it. I'm pretty sure this is a Honeycrisp. Well, here's the tag. Yeah, this is a Honeycrisp. So looking pretty good. And these can be more of a Christmas tree shape, they say. They don't have to have that open base as much, but I still don't want a bunch of, you know, vertical branches going up. So these kind of have like a nice mix. This is a Granny Smith. I had to kind of trim this one back because it was getting more of that vertical growth. So here soon I'm probably going to put an extender on this little branch here, and then this one too. I'm kind of letting it take off more. Oftentimes when you buy these in the store, they're just like a 7-foot vertical, which doesn't do you any good. You have to kind of trim them back so you can get more of the lateral branches to form. Oh, we have another apple here. This is actually a Granny Smith again. This little thing really took off nice. Literally, it was maybe last year, maybe a little bit above the stake here, and then now look at it. These things just took a couple years to kind of get set, you know, and then they start to take off. And then I got a couple apricot trees here in the back. They've really taken off well too. Again, you know, none of these trees are yet fruiting. You know, they're still in their infancy stage, but Japanese beetles really like these, I noticed. So I can't wait to cover these up. There's another one. And I know you're thinking, hey, these only have a few beetles on them. Give it 2 weeks from now and these trees will be like infested. So another apricot. So yeah, we have a lot of stone fruit on the property, and hoping to, you know, take this stuff to farmers markets and everything. Of course, eat it, give it to family and friends. More Japanese beetles. And this is a McIntosh apple tree. So it's looking pretty good as well. So everybody, thank you for tuning in. I know this was kind of a long video. Just wanted to show you all of our fruit trees. They're around 2 years old or so. And, you know, I'm pretty pleased with them so far. We'll see what the arborist thinks when he comes out. And then later I'll do some videos on each species that we've covered here, if you'd like. Kind of letting you know how we planted them, you know, what we added to them, different things like that. So thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you guys soon.